Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, everybody, wherever you may be. So happy to be with you here this morning. Welcome to another episode of Mondays at Microsoft. I'm Karuana Gatimu with the Microsoft 365 Customer Advocacy Group, here with my awesome friend.
Hello, I am Heather Cook, Principal Community Evangelist for Power Platform and Dynamics 365. Hey, and sorry for the smidgy late start. The buttons sometimes need to be pushed really hard.
It does, doesn't it?
So,
That is
so hi.
fantastic. That is fantastic. So glad that you're still here with us. Thank you. We were just talking away. It was fun, but no one heard
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Um, well, what we do want to talk about is some exciting news. As always, we're going to go over our one big rock and product news and community events information. And, some of you may not know that Microsoft has an entire division dedicated to supporting nonprofits around the globe. It's called Microsoft Philanthropies. And not only do they release things like the Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofits, a tailored experience directly for them, but they do awesome things like the Global Nonprofit Leaders Summit. And that is coming up. It's a virtual and in-person event. There's still some tickets left for the in-person event in Bellevue, but we're going to put the link out for the virtual component. So if you know anybody who volunteers at or leads a nonprofit, whether it's large or small, share this information with them because it's a fantastic place to learn about what other nonprofits are doing with technology to increase volunteerism and membership awareness and fundraising and all the fun things that we do in the nonprofit world. I really enjoy working with those folks, and they do fantastic work. So much is changing in our space. And Satya talked about this at Davos at the World Economic Forum last week. He had a fantastic interview. He also had a dedicated session directly on AI, but he said a few things that kind of blew my mind. And one of them was he believes that this technology of AI, as it's rising now, is going to become ubiquitous so much more quickly than previous revolutions because of the existence of cloud and mobile platforms that already exist, right? So this technology is just spreading so quickly, and it's really having such an impact already in science, in disease modeling, in the energy transformation we need to do. He talked about the partnership that we have with a lab that's in the Pacific Northwest to develop a lithium battery that uses 70% less lithium than prior ones that we have today. So he gave some examples of that, but he also talked a lot about how we have a responsibility as an industry to make sure that this technology is equitable and safe and available for all. That's really the world. We can't just ignore the unintended consequences and deal with them later as an industry. We have to think about them first and mitigate them before they happen. We haven't always done that in tech, as we can see in our world. And so I love that he really spoke about that at length. So you'll have that link. You can go check that out. It's a pretty fast interview, but it's nice to hear him speak on some of these, kind of earth-changing things. And I like to hear what his perspective is. It helps me orient the work that we're all doing. So fantastic stuff. And then, of course, with Accenture, we built a digital venue for the World Economic Forum. So people all around the world, whether they are in Davos or not, can participate in the events, and it's still open now. You can see what's happening. And it's a really cool use of the mesh technology and virtual and augmented reality. So that's always a cool thing to see that in real life, not just,
Yeah.
in a demo.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm putting the links in for sure, folks, on that. And a couple of other cool things that are happening in our Big Rock section. So Imagine Cup Junior is something that's been happening for about 5 years. So Imagine Cup and Imagine Cup Junior, they're both these wonderful kind of hackathon get together, big thanks for students. And so the junior one is for kids from 5 to 18. 5th year going, and then Imagine Cup is for 18 plus and above. And so it's all live now, and so you can get your kids involved. It's super cool. You can form groups and all that sort of thing. And so the Imagine Cup's been along for a really long time, and it's just great to see all of the energy around our beautiful youth and their minds and what they're thinking about. And there's a huge focus, shocking, on this thing called AI this time. So there's going to be a lot around that. So definitely check this link out and see if your kids and students and folks want to get in on the action there, because it's going to be super cool. And I'll put that link right in as well.
I love that one because I mean, it really does give you hope. If you're feeling bummed out about the future and the state of our world, go check out what these kids do. They are just, innovative problem solvers and full of so much positive energy. It's such a shot in the arm. I love all the Imagine Cup stuff we do, and the juniors is my favorite.
Yeah. Have you ever? I think I was a judge a long time ago for the Imagine Cup. I've done that a couple times too, so that's a pretty neat thing to be involved with.
That's cool.
Yeah. Also, just announced Jenny Leigh Fleury, who is our Chief Accessibility Officer for Ability Summit. It's a one-day free digital event coming up shortly here in March on March 7th. So it celebrates people with disabilities, allies, accessibility leaders who are providing all kinds of cool content at the event. So if you and your organization can imagine building a more inclusive culture and hearing people's voices, just check this out because it's got all the leading accessible technology, lovely, amazing real life stories, and lots of access to leadership discussion. So that's going to come up on the 7th, and we'll put that link. So, and anybody can attend that and check out that event. It's going to be awesome. So
it's a fantastic event. I love that every year. But and another important announcement is we want to hear from you. We are releasing our annual Community Insights Survey. And it just will take you a few minutes to fill out, but we'd like your feedback on how the community is working for you. And we made the broad Microsoft community. So whether you participate in online forums like the Microsoft Tech community or the Power Platform area, this community page, maybe you go to events or attend user groups. We really want to get your feedback on the state of how all that is working out there in the world. So we're going to post that link, aka.ms Community Insights. Please share it broadly. It is open until the end of February, and we would like as much feedback from the community as possible so that Heather and I can continue to alter the programs that we deliver, like the Global Community Initiative, to meet your needs. But we can't do that if we don't know them. So please do fill out our survey so that we can get your feedback. And as I said, tweet it, put it on your LinkedIn, put it everywhere so that folks know everything about it. We would appreciate that greatly.
Yeah, and whenever we say the Microsoft Global Community Initiative, we're going to say what it is too, right? So
Yes.
Karuana just mentioned that. And so that is this wonderful program that's cross-division, cross-product that we created about a year and a half ago, listening to the community, saying, hey, maybe we should have another forum for us to have talks and hear from folks and everything. So we created this with the support of our leadership. And so I'm going to put the link to join that. We do a monthly meeting where we talk about kind of what's new, what's going on. We do feedback listening sessions. Inside of that is our communitydays.org site, which is our one-stop shop for all Microsoft ecosystem community events that are coming up. So there's a lot of motion around this, which definitely includes this insight survey as part of that. So we'll put that up there too. So please sign up at least to get the newsletter. You can come to the monthly meeting. And if you're an event producer, I host an under NDA event producer monthly meeting where we talk about embargo dates and different things that are coming up. And we talk and help each other. Basically, do you have a template for this? And how do you do that? And that kind of thing. So all of that surrounds this global community initiative that we as Microsoft are putting out into the world, hopefully giving some stuff and hopefully getting back all this great feedback from you about what you want and how we can shape community for Microsoft for years to come. So just a little boop boop on that. So
yes, thank you so much. We always should do that because just because we know what the Global Community Initiative is, anybody else does.
Yep, I'm gonna type in the thing right here to sign up. So yeah, there you go.
Absolutely, that's fantastic. Well,
Yep.
we just passed a holiday. I know, Heather, you've got some stuff to share
Oh yeah.
about how we honored Martin Luther King Day.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. We definitely want to highlight the partnership with Microsoft with the Martin Luther King Jr. Center, which digitized all the artifacts of Coretta Scott King's legacy, preserving them for history. This is so cool. So there's a tweet that we'll put up online with the hashtag. You can follow the tweets for hashtag Dear Coretta, and then you can see the experience, and we'll put the link up. And this is just, it's a beautiful, cool partnership. Really proud that Microsoft is doing this with the organization. And, it's quotes, it's letters, it's videos, it's full speeches, all of that kind of stuff. So it's really digitizing an archive in this best way so that, for years to come, and we can all continue learning and listening and hearing all the good things Dr. King had to say. So super cool. Like, yay. Super cool. Yeah. I haven't dug into it a ton yet, but I plan to. I like, of course, listening to speeches and all week, not only of Martin Luther King, but, Coretta Scott King really, and, the family just continues with the legacy, their Instagram posts and what they're putting up and how they're talking about
Well,
things.
she's the reason that we have a holiday and that there
Yeah.
is the Dr. Martin Luther King Center. It was her activism after his death that allowed for that to happen. So it's fantastic.
So celebrating them both big time. So yeah. And then we also have this reading coach for free. So there is this really cool event coming up in London for anyone in education, both higher education and K through 12. It's literally the world's biggest ed tech event, so they say. So it's BET. It's the UK BET show coming up. So we'll put that up so you can check that out too. So just some other really kind of spotlight cool events that we're seeing popping up this spring. So coming up.
Yes. And the reading coach is huge because everyone can use it to help their children learn to read better. It's an education tool that Microsoft built, and it is available for free for educators, for parents to use. And so, one of the big things that's important to understand about Microsoft is, yes, we have a tremendous amount of products that, of course, we are selling as a, for-profit company, but there's so much that we actually give away for free. And often people don't know about it. They don't know about the events. They don't know about the knowledge or the templates or the support that will give their initiative. This reading coach is a fantastic example of the work that we're doing in education and trying to help, folks everywhere be able to have a better reading experience. I know for me, my mom taught me to read before I ever went to school. And I credit that with a great deal of my success because I just read so well. It was easy for me to take in information and learn new things. And I was just blessed with that and with her teaching me so well before I ever walked into the school. So I'm really excited about this reading coach and what it means for kids all around the world and the different languages it's available in and what have you. So definitely go check that out.
Yeah. Are we going to jump into product?
Yes, we are ready to do that. And I know you probably heard all about this already, but we would be remiss if we didn't discuss the expansion of the CoPilot licensing. So based on your feedback and, of course, our business plan, we have removed the requirement for 300 licenses for organizations to purchase CoPilot. And we've also extended the foundational licensing to Microsoft Business Premium and Business Standard. So you don't have to have Office or Microsoft 365 E3 or E5 anymore. If you have a business standard or business premium license, you can purchase individual seats of CoPilot. This is a really big deal because this means that small to medium businesses everywhere can purchase licenses and begin to get the power of these capabilities, which Satya called experience at your fingertips. Right there within the experience. And so there is also a CoPilot Pro license now available. That is $20 a month. That goes alongside our Microsoft CoPilot experience that has commercial data protection. But for inside the apps and the experience that's inside Microsoft 365, like in Word and PowerPoint, that is CoPilot for Microsoft 365. And that's where we remove that license requirement. So that's a really big deal. Small, medium businesses have been purchasing since we announced that just went live on the 16th. You got to be able to purchase that inside of your tenant admin experience. You can now find it there in the catalog. So I'm excited about what smaller businesses are going to do with CoPilot in their customer experience or in their sales cycle or supporting folks all up.
People are excited.
We have a dedicated hub also on adoption@microsoft.com for SMB specific supporting content. And with just the first wave of that content that's available on the new SMB CoPilot Hub, we're going to be adding more. But the issues and the scenarios that you have in small to medium businesses is not always the same as what you find in enterprise. And it's less complex in some ways to roll things out. So we're doing targeted and specific content for SMB And you can also ask all those questions in our SMB community, which is available on the Microsoft Tech community. And so you can find us there in the Microsoft 365 CoPilot Hub. We have a new discussion forum specifically for SMB, and that is super, super fantastic. I love bringing people together as they share information about how they're using this for
There's
sure.
a question in the chat about partners using CoPilot so they can learn without an additional charge.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's actually not true yet. I don't think that we've released it to partners. We have released it so that CSPs, cloud solution partners like GoDaddy and what have you, can actually sell it. But we've not released it to partners with a trial license, if you will. There isn't really a trial for CoPilot. So, but if you're a Microsoft partner, you can join our partner community for CoPilot. We do a lot of demos there, and that's where you give that feedback, and it gets directly to the partner program. I'll add that link in so that you all can find that, but that's something you can onboard too.
Yeah, Deb will put that in for you for sure. So, great question.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. And there was another question up above also about the...
Oh, the insights. We do that yearly, right?
Yes, we do, yeah.
I answered that one, so yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, that's great. Well, there's more awesome announcements that have come from the Microsoft 365 side, and Microsoft 365 Backup is now in public preview. So Microsoft 365 Backup really protects the data in your tenant from from a business continuity perspective. It protects in case you have a ransomware attack. Unfortunately, those are reasonably common depending on your industry and location. And so Microsoft 365 Backup will protect all of that data. So you can test that out through the public preview. We'll put the link out there for that blog post or that documentation page so you can understand more of the features. And also Microsoft Mesh is now generally available, including the new Teams immersive meeting experience and the Mesh toolkit for developers. And so, we've been talking about Microsoft Mesh for a really long time. You can get your hands on it now. And, recently my boss, Adam Harmitz, he did an all hands for our division in Mesh. So we all had this virtual experience of going into Mesh and giving our presentations and talking to people. It was a great experience, and it actually was really fun as something different to do. And everybody was learning together, trying to figure out how to move around and turn their head and all that stuff. So it was just a fun change from your standard all hands meeting where we talk about results and things like that. So it's a great fun thing to be able to do. And so we're excited. Another big thing is for any of you who are out there who are in the adoption space, our friends Dan Ray and others who have come from the Microsoft Service Adoption Specialist alumni have started a new page, the Microsoft Adoption Community. And it is a sister page to this one, but it's run by folks outside of Microsoft from the community themselves. And they talk about adoption specific, topics there, posting of events and what have you. So if you haven't seen that yet, we'll make sure that you know about it. And thanks to those folks for putting in their time and effort in creating an experience for all of the alumni members and others who are interested in that topic. So we love that we're focused on, part of this work is generating the next, generation of community and tech leaders. And so that is definitely something that is going on.
Very cool. Love that.
Excellent. Wow. And then there's this next one here that is about bringing someone along. There's a great blog about finding your path in technology. And it really gives some insights into what it's like to participate in the community, to be a speaker. We always encourage people, if you're speaking at anything, bring someone else along who's never done it before. Share the experience of what it's like to speak. Sometimes people just need to get over, their initial fear and nerves and be able to enjoy the experience. So we'll put that blog out there too, so that you can, think about that as you participate in what's coming next.
Yeah, it was cool for Fabian Williams, who's a colleague of ours. He's been bringing his daughter along to a lot of the events, and she's been speaking with him. It's been so
It's
cool.
amazing. She's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what the blog is about, is his
Yep.
experience in bringing his daughter to these
Yep.
technology events and seeing what she's doing. Again, if you need a shot of good news, that's a blog to read, 100%.
Very cool. Yeah. And, you know, it's also, it's like, it's the experience of being on stage, but then it's also, you know, the experience of building like a PowerPoint deck with somebody and figuring out what you're going to talk about and like how you share the stage with someone and all of that, right? So there's all that pre-prep work that goes into bringing something where you actually get on the stage too. And that's something, one, for me, learning. I've been doing more co-speaking with folks, and with having some folks from the community speak with me. You know, I've had Dion Taylor, and I had Femke, and I've, you know, a bunch of other folks in the last year. I'm like, yeah, come do a session, you know. And what's been great for me to remember is that, you know, like I can do things in a different speed, I think, as certain people know you can too, right? Well, it's like, you know, not everybody, you know, you have to have that prep time where you talk through and you figure out what you're saying and all of that stuff, and not just
Right.
like jump up on stage and be like, blah, 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 you know, like, so like some of us who are more, a little bit, maybe more theatrical can do, right? But it's like really looking at how you put together a speech and how you build momentum and put all those things together. So it's a cool experience to share that with someone, because you learn so much from each other about how to do that. So anyway, I've been doing it a bit more, and it's been really cool. So shout out to my co-speakers from this last year. So it's been awesome. So yeah, very cool.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
Business applications. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Power Apps, we've had there was a big recap of modern controls. There's a big evolution there in this last year. And so there's a blog post up about sort of the 2024 innovations in the modern controls. 13 modern controls based in Fluent 2 are in preview, and then the controls were built, you know, to enhance performance, and the Fluid Apps experience had more accessibility was a huge focus. And so this article is all about kind of what's going on with that and what's in play right now. So that's a great one. Power Automate, we've got process mining generally available in GCC, the government cloud, in the sovereign region. That's great, because, you know, sometimes those lag a little bit and come behind. So we're always happy to be like, yay, it's there. So process mining, GA and GCC. For the dynamics section, we've got shaping retail. So the big National Retail Federation NRF show just happened. And so there was a ton of announcements around AI for Dynamics 365 customer insights and supply chain management that you can definitely check out. CoPilot Studio as well has got tons of information. There's a whole new learning path up as well that we'll put in the chat for you for CoPilot Studio, because it's available both as a standalone web app and a discrete app within Teams. Functionality is kind of the same, but there's different reasons to choose the canvas and version of where you want to be with that. Fabric always has amazing, like lots of stuff going on. So Fabric Copilot for data science and data engineering is in public preview from November. It was announced during the Ignite conference. So that is worldwide availability GA now. So you can check that out. And then there's a whole blog post with step-by-step on how to enable Copilot in Fabric for everyone. So a lot of great stuff going on there. And then popping into events, we had a ton of events over the last couple of weeks. We had a virtual event from the Intra team, Strasbourg AMS, Azure OpenAI, and ChatGTP Fest in Reston. The Lagos event, I believe, was postponed. AMS Luxembourg is coming up here on the 30th. We've got Town Hall Tallinn the last week of the month in Estonia, Community Days Miami on the 2nd, and then Community Days at Sea, literally on a cruise ship, from the 4th to the 11th in the Caribbean. What? Yeah. And so we've got tons of stuff going on. Again, communitydays.org is the place for that one-stop shop. We had a great call. Our MGCI call was talking all about how, you know, get your events up there, because everybody is looking this year of what to go do for the year. Like, people are asking me, what's going on in October? I was like, I don't know, Halloween, you know, like, I'm like, wow. Okay. So, like, get your new costume. But seriously, people, once you get a date and you know what's going on, put it up, because people are really looking at kind of planning their year. I think, you know, us coming out of COVID and all the different things that have been going on, I think people are enjoying going to in-person events, and people are also making choices on where to spend money and what to go to and where and all of that. So definitely lean into that communitydays.org, please, and get those events up there, because it's very exciting to see. So yeah.
Absolutely. And we're excited because we know we're going to see all of you out there, and especially at the Microsoft 365 conference that's coming
Yeah.
up in Orlando. There will be a discount code coming forthwith to all of you listeners for your early bird registration. That's going to be the place to learn about AI and Microsoft 365 capabilities, administration, adoption, all of the amazing things happening in SharePoint and with M365 backup and all the new capabilities across the space. So we're excited about M365 conference. We can't wait to go to Orlando and see all those people in person, Heather. You're so right. There's nothing like presenting to an in-person audience, someplace that you really enjoy. And that conference is certainly one. There's so many good things coming along with that. So
Yeah.
we're going to catch up on all of our links here. And we just really appreciate all of you. We're going to be back. As we mentioned last time, we've been picked up for another season. So we're going to continue to be here with you every other Monday morning, going through everything that's happening at Microsoft. Keep the conversation going on our Microsoft Communities page. And for those of you watching on YouTube, big shout out. We'll make sure to get the links over to you in the description of that video so you can click through to all this awesome content as well. We're excited to see you. Our next show will be on February 5th, promptly at 8 a.m. We will be
a little more.
promptly.
I caught up on all the links too, so I was like,
oh,
yeah,
you're amazing.
let's go.
Amazing.
And this time of year too has got that sort of buzz around it for, I would say community organizers and people who are putting things together and doing good things in our world. So a lot of wonderful sort of beginning of the year activism and a lot of, goodness in the world. So a big shout out to people who organize, people who 100%. Are marching and collecting petitions and doing all the good things in the world to support, women and children and, our environment and all of that stuff. So there's a lot of people out there who do a lot of good. And so thank you for you and doing what you do out there to build community and build belonging and making our world a better place. It's super important. And so thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Heather. And thank you to you. Thank you to all of our viewers. And we will see you back here, same time, same channel on February 5th. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Have a great
everybody.
day, everyone.
Have a great week. All right. Bye.